Hi all, good evening. This is Abhay Mahajan and I welcome you all to this series called Beyond Textbooks, wherein we discuss things which are not there in textbooks. Alright, so one such interesting topic we are discussing today, and the topic is called rearrangement inequality. This is my favorite inequality, and I use this a lot in the questions that I do and in my daily life as well. So, because this is one such inequality which you can easily relate to your daily life, right? So you'll be able to understand this better with an illustration. So let us start with an illustration, and this would help us in remembering this inequality in a better way. All right. So consider five boxes. Box 1 contains 5 rupee notes, and there are many notes in there. Box 2 contains 10 rupee notes. Box 3 contains 20 rupee notes, and there are infinitely many 20 rupee notes in here. Box 4 contains 50 rupee notes, and box 5 contains 100 rupee notes. The question is, you have to take out 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 notes from boxes of your choice. So 2 notes from say box 1, 3 from box 2, and in any permutations possible. The question is, how do you maximize the money? How do you maximize the money? So I think this is pretty simple for us, and even a 5-year-old can answer this. So the way to maximize the money would be from 100 rupee, the box containing 100 rupee bills, I'll pick out 6 notes. And from box containing 50 rupee notes, I'll take out 5 notes, 4 from here and 3 from here and 2 from here. Right? So the maximum amount of money, which is very obvious to us, is 6 into 100 plus 5 into 50 plus 4 into 20 plus 3 into 10 plus 2 into 5. So this is the maximum amount of money that I can take out from the given box system with the given condition. Right, so 970 rupees the maximum I can take out. Now again, if I ask you what is the minimum amount that you can take out, and again the answer is pretty straightforward. So if I have to take out bills or notes, and the idea is to pick out 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 from one of the boxes, any one boxes. So I'll pick 6 from here and 5 from here and 3 from here and 2 from here and 1 from here. So the minimum amount would be 6 into 5 plus 5 into 10 plus 3 into 20 plus 2 into 50 plus 1 into 100. And for any other arrangement, any other permutation of, I think 6, this should be 4 and this should be 3 and this should be 2. So let me correct, this would be 4 and 3 and 2. So this would be the minimum amount, whatever that comes out to be. The idea is for any other permutations of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the amount of money will be between these two. The amount of money will be between these two. So this is the minimum amount, 510, and 970 was the maximum amount. And this is very easy to calculate. So if you arrange both the sequences, that is 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and the other sequences is notes 5, 10, 20, 50 and 100. So if you arrange them in ascending order, this will be the maximum amount, and if you arrange one of the series in ascending and the other in descending order, this would be the minimum amount. For any other arrangement, the amount of money that you can withdraw from the boxes would be between these two. And this is the basis of our rearrangement inequality. The same idea that we use in rearrangement inequality. So what is that? Let us read the statement. So if there are two sequences A1, A2, A3, AN and B1, B2, B3, BN, so it says if two sequences are arranged in the ascending order, then the product, sum of their products in that order would be the maximum, and if one is ascending, the other is in descending order, the sum of their product would be the minimum. For any other arrangement of BIs, permutations of BIs with AIs, that sum of the product would lie in between. Right, so this is the idea that we use for rearrangement equality, and then this is very obvious. There is no need to explain, or there's no proof of this inequality, because this is common sense. And just to make things easier, notational wise, what we do is we define this matrix A1, A2, A3, AN, B1, B2, B3, BN as A1 into B1 plus A2 into B2 plus A2 into B3, AN into BN. So this is how we define. So the matrix 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just for the ease of calculations, we define this as 1 into 4 plus 2 into 5 plus 3 into 6. Right, so this would make our work very easy. Alright, so let us apply this rearrangement inequality in some of the questions and see how easy they become by applying rearrangement inequality. Now this is one question which I may have discussed say 4 times or at least 5 times in the videos that I've provided before, and again all the proofs are different. And today with rearrangement inequality we'll be proving this one more time with a different proof. Alright, so I need to prove that a square plus b square plus c square is greater than or equal to ab plus bc plus ca. So without loss of generality, I assume that a is greater than or equal to b is greater than or equal to c. I can do that, right? Now, I need two sequences. So one sequence is ABC, which is in say descending order. I'll take the other sequence is also ABC. So two sequences are in the same order. So that means this sum of the product would be the maximum. Then any other rearrangement. So first row we keep the same, and second we change the order. So B, C and A. So by rearrangement inequality, both sequences were in the same order, decreasing. This would always be greater than or equal to any other sequence. This is what rearrangement inequality says. And if you just multiply this, so a square plus b square plus c square would come out to be greater than ab plus bc plus ca, and this is what we need to prove. So again, see how simple the proof has become by using rearrangement inequality. And this is pure logic, no mathematics involved as such. Right, so no formula involved, only logic. Right? Alright, so this is the answer. I hope you've understood the question. If you've understood the question, I hope you're ready for the second question, which is this. Prove that a cube plus b cube plus c cube is greater than or equal to a square b plus b square c plus c square a for positive ABC. Now let us again apply rearrangement inequality and see how easy this has become. So again, without loss of generality, I assume a is greater than or equal to b is greater than or equal to c. So I can say a square would be greater than or equal to b square would be greater than or equal to c square. Right. Now to prove this, I take one sequence as a square, b square, c square, which is in descending order, and put the same in this row. Now, just to look at what we have to prove, a cube, the other sequence would be a, b and c. Yahan par, on the right hand side, the order gets changed. So a square, we need b and c and a. Note that both the sequences on the left hand side are in the same order, both decreasing. So this sum of the products would be greater than or equal to any other rearrangement. So a cube plus b cube plus c cube is greater than or equal to a square b plus b square c plus c square a. So how easy this has become using rearrangement inequality. I hope you've all understood this. Right. The third question is a bit tricky, and this is a very famous inequality called Nesbit's inequality. Right, and some of the proofs of a Nesbit's inequality are really long, but using rearrangement, I'll prove this very easily. So again, same thing, without loss of generality, a is greater than or equal to b is greater than or equal to c. Now, having looked at the question, I need 1 upon b plus c, 1 upon c plus a, 1 upon a plus b with this. So again, I have to find this order. So can I say if a is greater than or equal to b is greater than or equal to c, a plus b would be greater than or equal to a plus c would be greater than or equal to b plus c. This is true because if we compare first and the second, a gets cancelled out and b is c greater than or equal to c. If we compare second and the third part, c gets cancelled out, a is greater than or equal to b, which is also true, and the first and third, if we compare, b gets cancelled out, a is greater than or equal to c, which is also true. Now if I take the reciprocals, because the numbers are positive in nature, can I easily say 1 upon a plus b is less than or equal to 1 upon c plus a is less than or equal to 1 upon b plus c. Now let us apply rearrangement inequality. The first row I'll take ABC, which is in descending order. I'll take the descending order of the reciprocals here. So 1 upon b plus c is greater than 1 upon c plus a, 1 upon a plus b. Now this is greater than or equal to. We have A, B, C, and we just change the order. So let's say I put C plus A here, A plus B here, and 1 upon B plus C here. So what I've done is I have moved this to this to this, and this to here. But see, if we just multiply, left hand side will come out to be same, but right hand side I'm not getting 3 by 2. So what we do is we apply this again. So A, B, C, and we keep the left hand side same, 1 upon B plus C, 1 upon C plus A, 1 upon A plus B. On the right hand side, the top row is same, but the bottom row I change again. So 1 upon A plus B, 1 upon B plus C, and 1 upon C plus A. And what I do is I add these up. So if you just calculate, because I'm short of space here, just calculate on your copies. So left hand side I get 1 A upon B plus C plus B upon C plus A plus C upon A plus B, that too twice. So twice of this is greater than or equal to A upon C plus A plus C upon C plus A. So if I add these two, just imagine if I add these two, A upon C plus A plus C upon C plus A would come out to be 1. Likewise, B upon A plus B plus A upon A plus B would come out to be 1. And similarly, C upon B plus C with this, A upon B plus C would give me 1. So right hand side would be 3, and 2 I can take to denominator, and hence this is proven. So net bits, if I have to prove using say AMGM, it takes a long time, and there are other proofs also of net bits inequality. You can Google the same, which are much longer than this proof, but this we have proven in just 2 lines. So this is the power of rearrangement inequality. I hope you all understood this. Which brings us to the last question. If A, B, C are positive real numbers such that ABC is equal to 1, prove that A upon B plus B upon C plus C upon A is greater than or equal to A plus B plus C. So for this, what I do is I take 3 fractions. So assuming A upon B is less than or equal to B upon C is less than or equal to C upon A, for some ABC without loss of generality, this would be true. So what I do is for the first row I take A upon B to the power 1 by 3, B upon C to the power 1 by 3, C upon A to the power 1 by 3. And second row, A upon B to the power 2 by 3, B upon C to the power 2 by 3, C upon A to the power 2 by 3. The idea is to multiply them and get A plus B, B plus C, C plus A. So both of them are in ascending order. So this would surely be greater than. First row I keep same, A upon B to the power 1 by 3, B upon C to the power 1 by 3, C upon A to the power 1 by 3. And second row I just rotate. So A upon B to the power 1 by 3, I put C upon A to the power 2 by 3. I'm just rotating it. B upon C, I'll put A upon B to the power 2 by 3. And behind this, below this, I'll put what is left? B upon C to the power 2 by 3. So on the left hand side, if I multiply, I am getting what I require on the left hand side. A upon B plus B upon C plus C upon A. On the right hand side, if I multiply any 2, let us multiply any 2. So first 2, let us multiply. So what you get? You're getting A to the power 1 by 3 upon B to the power 1 by 3 into C to the power 2 by 3 upon A to the power 2 by 3. So can I say this gets simplified to C square upon AB to the power 1 by 3. So this would come out to be C square upon AB to the power 1 by 3 plus B square upon AC to the power 1 by 3 plus A square upon BC to the power 1 by 3. And we know that ABC is 1, and hence AB is 1 by C, and if I substitute this over here, it will be C cubed to the power 1 by 3, so I will get C from here and B from here and A from here, which gives us the right hand side, and hence proved. So such a difficult inequality, if you take the LCM, it would be much difficult to prove by any other mean. It can be proved, but it will take a long while. But using rearrangement, I've proved this in 1-2 lines. So this is the power of rearrangement. Again, the good part is there's no mathematics involved. This is pure logic, right? So just on the basis of logic, we've devised an inequality and we've used it in some of the questions, and this can be easily used in many things around you. Many things around you. The idea is if you take two sequences in the same order, the sum of the product taken two at a time in the same order will always be greater than or equal to any other permutation of the series. That is the idea, right? I hope you enjoyed this question and you enjoyed the session and you've learned something out of it. So let us join hands to bring gold for India. India is not doing academically that well at international level. So Vedantu has started this good initiative, whereas it started a wing called Vedantu Olympiad School, wherein we prepare students for international Olympiads like RMO, IMO, for senior physics and chemistry Olympiads, for junior sciences Olympiads. And if you know any person around you who is good in mathematics or physics, please make him or her join this channel. And you can always reach out to me at abhay.mahajan, that is my email ID, at vedantu.com. So if you have any sort of doubts regarding the things that we are discussing, or you want to give a valuable feedback about these sessions, please reach out to me and I'll be happy to revert back. Alright guys, take care till next time. Bye.